On April 17, 2012, the Space Shuttle Discovery flew over thousands of onlookers on its way to the Smithsonian National Air and Space Museum's Stephen F. Udvar-Hazy Center. For General Jack Daly, it was another milestone in a life inspired by aviation from his earliest days.
He has led a very exciting life. In fact, when you think about it, he's lived his version of the American dream.
His dad was an old-time aviator of the leather helmet, open cockpits, scarf out in the slipstream type, who flew in the days of the fabric-covered biplanes against the Sandinistas in Nicaragua in the 1930s.
John R. Daly was born at Quantico. He moved with his family to bases in California and Virginia, where he developed a love of the outdoors. He was a standout athlete at UCLA and received a commission in the Marine Corps at the age of 22. In 1963, he met Mimi Rodian, a native of Denmark who worked for Scandinavian Airlines and as a model. They were married in 1964. Over the next few years, they had a daughter, Lisa, and a son, Nils, both of whom are now married with children of their own. In 1967, he began his first of 2 combat tours in Vietnam, flying over 450 missions in RF-4s, EF-10Bs, and EA-6s. And while many pilots consider themselves lucky to fly 2 or 3 planes in a career, Jack flew dozens of aircraft, from the CH-53 Sea Stallion to the SR-71 Blackbird, racking up over 7,000 total flight hours. In 1988, he earned his 4th star and was a member of the Joint Chiefs of Staff during Operation Desert Storm. When he retired in 1992, he was Assistant Commandant of the Marine Corps. Jack's career is legendary, but if you were to look only at his accomplishments on paper, you would miss out on the first thing that anyone who really knows him would tell you.
He is noted for being can I say a hellraiser? I can say a hellraiser, okay. He's noted for being a hellraiser.
They had a little celebration at the Officers Club in the bar, and his squadron received a bill for $1,000 for some incidental damage that had been done, and they sent back a check for $2,000 with a note that said, "We'll be back."
One of Jack's most famous exploits came while he was in command of the 1st Marine Amphibious Brigade in Kaneohe Bay, Hawaii, under Lieutenant General Dwayne Gray. The Marines were hosting a talent show, in part to upstage a similar event hosted by the naval officers.
The highlight of the evening, though, was Jack, the dignified Brigadier General of Marines, his regimental commander, later a 3-star Marine General, his air group commander, later a 3-star Marine General, doing their best impersonation of the Blues Brothers. I will not forget it if I live to be 1,000 years old. Between us, Mimi and I have been trying to civilize him for some time, and I think we're about to succeed now as he grows older and more mature.
But not all of Jack's signature moves were so intentional.
I want to show you a picture of an F-4 that comes off a carrier in normal fashion. And now I have a picture of Jack being catapulted off of Midway in 1978. You can tell he's going almost straight up. Most people looked at this as an unrecoverable event, but Jack, because of his skill, was able to recover the aircraft, bring it back on deck. Quite an achievement. Those standing aboard the carrier that witnessed the event all said pretty much the same thing. It looked like he was carving Z's into the sky. And from From that moment on, he has been known as Zorro.
After retiring as the Assistant Commandant of Marines, Jack continued his public service as the Deputy Director of NASA, where, despite the intensity of his work, he was still able to find time to be the Grand Marshal of the Houston Rodeo and Livestock Show. In January 2000, Jack assumed the position of Director of the Smithsonian's National Air and Space Museum.
He wants to deliver an honest product, and everybody knows when they come to the Smithsonian Air and Space Museum, they're not going to be disappointed, and that's to a great extent because of what he's instilled in this organization and in the people who work here.
As the longest-serving director of the nation's most visited museum, he has overseen 8 multi-million-dollar exhibitions and greatly expanded programs and outreach. His most ambitious achievement has been its expansion, the Stephen F. Udvar-Hazy Center.
It's not just putting up another building. It's more about the inspired leadership that he has brought to the most visited museum in the world.
He sees his mission now as preserving some of aviation's finest days to impress our young people and to take the history of aviation and make it come alive for future generations so we can encourage our kids.
Congratulations, Zorro. You've earned tonight's award. And also, Mimi, sitting over in the right seat, navigating him through life, you too should be honored tonight. Jack and Mimi, congratulations.
I'm just proud that the Wings Club is seeing fit to honor Jack. Nobody could deserve it more.